Hey Lion, so good to see you. We're going to learn some new sight syllables today, as well as practice dividing words up into syllables and reinforcing what we've learned about the 6 syllable type so far. Remember, this is going to help us to be able to decode really large words that you come to in complex text. And it's also going to be able to help you to become a really good speller. So let's get started. The first thing we're going to do, we're going to sort some words that all begin with the letter C. And we're going to sort them according to the sound that C makes. So let's start with this word, cycle. Cycle. So I hear S at the beginning of cycle. So I'm going to put it over here. Let's look at this word, scent. I also hear the S sound. So I'm going to put it under cycle. Oops, that magnet does not want to stick. Let me try a different one. So cycle, scent. So far they sound the same. Okay, now let's look at this word, cat. Okay, so this is saying the K sound. So I'm going to make a new category for this. So let me put it over here. So these begin with S, and this begins with the K sound. Let's look here, cut. Cut. Yep, I hear the K sound again. And I have another one, city. I hear this sound like cycle and scent. So I'll sort it on this side. Okay. And then the last one, cost. This says K at the beginning. So we'll put it over here. So one thing that we know when we see the letter C at the beginning of a word, it can either make the S sound or the K sound. Now something that's really cool, anytime you have A after the C, it's going to make the K sound. Anytime you have U after C, it'll make the K sound. Same thing with the O. Anytime you see Y, E, or I after C, it's going to make the S sound. This is going to be really helpful to know because when you start breaking really large words into individual syllables, you're going to need to know which sound of C to make. So we'll keep practicing that. Okay, and we're going to become automatic with it because we'll revisit it every day. So let's look here. So this sound, if we look back behind us, this will say S. Together, S. Your turn. Very good, like in city. Okay, let's look here. I see the C, E is like in scent. So this too will say S. Together, S. Your turn. Very good. Okay, this is like in cycle. So it is going to make the S sound as well. My turn. S. Together, S. Your turn. Very good. All right, CO, like in cost, cost. My turn, K. Together, K. Your turn. Very good. And like in cat, we see right up here. My turn, K. Together, K. Your turn. Very good. One more of the C's, the CU, like in cut. My turn, K. Together, K. Your turn. Good. And we'll practice those and you will eventually become automatic with it and you won't need to see our guide words to help you with it eventually. All right, let's review one of our digraphs. Remember, digraphs are when you have 2 or more letters that make one sound. So this says W, together, W. Your turn. Good. Like the wheezing whale. So we'll just put this right there so that you can refer to it. Another digraph sound we have that we learned last time is F. Together, F. Your turn. Very good. Kind of like a phone. I hope you like my drawing. All right, so we'll put our phone up here. That was another one of our digraphs. Remember, a digraph is when you have 2 or more letters that make one sound. Okay, let's review the other sounds and spellings we've learned. Ch, together, ch. Your turn, ch. Good. Remember, this is only at the end of a word. Okay, my turn, I, together, I, your turn, good. Remember, it makes the Y is acting like a vowel when you see this at the end of a word, and it makes the I sound. Okay, my turn, E, together, E, your turn, good. Remember, Y at the end of a word is acting like a vowel, and it makes the E sound, like in family. All right, let's practice those sounds that we know in new words. Let's look here. Remember, when you have an E after a C, this says S. Here we go. Scent, scent. Whiff, whiff. Okay, just like up here, we had the E. This is going to make the S sound. Sell, sell. Here we go. Scratch, scratch. Okay, remember when we have C and there's a Y after it, it makes the S sound. Cyst, cyst. Good. Okay, remember when we have an E after a C, like in sell and like in scent, it says S. So this would be sep, sep. Very good. With, with. Okay, remember when you have an I after a C, it says S. So this would be sit, sit. Very good. Breath, breath. Now, one thing that all of these words have in common, they all have short vowel sounds, and that's because every single one of these words were closed syllable types. Remember, we have closed syllables when there is at least one consonant after the vowel. These were all single syllables. These were all closed syllables. We'll review some of those other types of syllables later in our lesson. All right, let's review just a few of our sight words. I have a couple of new ones. Does, D-O-E-S, does. Put, P-U-T, put. Good. Remember, read, spell, read with me. Pull, P-U-L-L, pull. Most, M-O-S-T, most. The rest of the sight words, we're just going to read them. Okay, here we go. Find, said, your, what, have, from, work, world, word, where. All right, let's do our syllable transformations. Dropping all of my supplies today. Okay, let me find my dry erase marker. Here we go. All right, let's take a look here. In our first syllable, let's look at this. What type of syllable is that? What do you notice after the vowel? That's right. There is not a consonant or a letter after the vowel. So it's an open syllable type. When you have an open syllable, remember the vowel sound is long. So this will say A. Here we go. Fray, fray. Now I add a letter. And now what kind of syllable is it? Yep, it's a closed syllable. So now it's a short vowel sound. So let's try with a short vowel. Fraz, fraz. Kind of like in the word frazzle. In the beginning part, fray could be like in fragrant. So these seem like nonsense words, but they're actually syllables, which are part of larger words. Okay. Let's look here. What type of syllable is this? You're right, it's a closed syllable because we have a consonant after the vowel. So this makes it a short vowel sound. And that's a symbol we can use to show the short sound. Smas, smas. Good. Let me erase a letter in our symbol. And what type of syllable is that? That's right. It's an open syllable because there's not a consonant blocking the vowel, so it can make a long O sound, which can be represented like this. Here we go. Smo, smo. Perfect. Let's do just one more of these. Okay, what syllable type is this? Yep, it's an open syllable because we do not have a consonant after the vowel, so this can make a long I sound. Here we go. Ch, I, chai. Good. Now, let's transform it. And what type of syllable is this? You got it. It is a closed syllable type, which makes this a short vowel sound, which can be represented with this symbol. So let's try this with a short vowel sound. Here we go. Ch, im, chim, kind of like chimney. Perfect. All right, I have a few new sight syllables to introduce you to. The first one is mem, mem, like in the words member or memory. Mem. The next sight syllable I want to introduce you to is like at the end of personal or medical. This says ul, ul. Together, ul. Your turn, ul. Good. And we see this spelling as at the end of words. Okay. And this one is anta, like an antifreeze. Antiseptic. So it says anta. Now, sometimes you will hear it as anti, okay? But when we see it in most words, you'll say anta. And it means against. So antifreeze means you're against, it's a liquid that will help prevent freezing. Antiseptic is something that will help prevent an infection, because septic would be like an infection. So anta, when you see that in a word, it means against. So it's against whatever the base word is. All right, so this sight syllable, not only will it help you be able to read words, but it can help you understand what a word means. Okay, and this will say nis. Together, nis. Your turn, goodness. Like in kindness, sickness. And this is a suffix that you can add to a word. And it would mean like state of being. So kindness, the state of being kind. Sickness, the state of being sick. Okay, so this is a suffix that you can add to the end of a word. All right. And let's just review some of our other sight syllables that we've learned. We won't review all of them today. We're just going to do some of them. Okay, here we go. Diff. Very good. Ship. Ack. This actually, instead of the hard C, it's going to say ax, like accident, accept, ax. Okay, let's put that off to the side. We'll come back to it. Scope, necked, frack, purr. Okay, auto, like automobile, automatic. Shen, multiplication, subtraction, shen. Scan. Okay, and remember this one would be like in decide, delight. This one we say D. And one thing that can help us remember this says D, decide. Delight is, see how it's an open syllable? There's not a consonant blocking the sound. Okay? And this one would be ent, like assistant, consonant. This one says ent. Very good. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is read some words syllable by syllable. Okay? All right. So we know right here, if I can get my card to go the right way. Here we go. Okay, so let's look at this syllable. This would be a closed syllable because we have a consonant after the vowel. So we know this is going to say X. Okay, now let's look at the next syllable. We learned earlier that when you have an E after the C, it says S. So here we go, X, sep, sep. And then the last syllable is shun. So let's put it together. Exception, exception. Good job. Do you see how when you learn those syllables, you learn how to say them by sight? It can prevent you from having to sound out each of the individual sounds. All right, let's look here. So what kind of syllable is this? It is a closed syllable, so we know that's a short I. Ready? In, dex, index. Like my index card I have here. Okay. What kind of syllable is this? It's open, and we can just read no. We know no. Okay. Tay. This has to be tay because this syllable is an open syllable. So we know the A is a long A sound. No, tay, shun, notation. So do you see how, because we learned shin, how to say that, we can just do that automatically. All right, last one of these. Let's look here. This is an open syllable, okay, because there's not a consonant blocking the sound. So this is tay, and then bull. This is one of our final stable syllables. Table. Very good. All right. Now let's do some practice learning how to break a word that we don't know into syllables. So let me get my clipboard to help us. So remember what we learned about dividing words into syllables is the first thing you do is you find the vowels. So I've got a vowel here and I've got a vowel here, okay? And so as long as the vowels are not together, working as a vowel team, we're going to divide them up. So when we have a vowel here, and then I have 1, 2, 3 consonants, we go ahead and divide those consonants. Now, I know I'm going to divide it here because remember we said at the end of a lot of words, when you see a consonant followed by LE, that's the final stable syllable. So we keep the final stable syllable together. So then we could sound this out. We know this part is a closed syllable because we have a consonant following the vowel. So it's going to make a short vowel sound. And then we have the stable syllable bull. So it would be bub, bull, bubble. Okay? So you see how these rules about dividing words up into syllables can help you to be able to read words that you may not know. All right, so first thing when we divide a word up into syllables, we identify the vowels. So I know I'm going to have 2 syllables in this word, and after the vowel, the first vowel, there's 1 consonant, 2. We know we split 2 consonants. And now when I look at this first syllable, I see it is a closed syllable type because there's a consonant after the vowel. When I look here, same thing. There's a consonant after the vowel. So I have two syllables, and they both are closed syllable types, which means they'll both have short vowel sounds. So let's sound it out. Subset, subset. Very good. Let's do just a couple more. They're sticking together. Okay. Now, I'm going to look here. I have a vowel here, and I've got two vowels here. But these vowels are together, okay? They're working together. Now, after this first vowel, I have 1, 2 consonants. We know we can split them. We've also learned that this is a sight syllable, okay? That's how I knew to keep the I and O together, because this is shin, okay? We've learned that sight syllable. So now here, we're going to have a short vowel sound because this is a closed syllable at the beginning. So it's a short sound. And we probably know by sight, this is min, and then we've got shin, mention. Good. All right, let's do this one. All right, let's identify the vowels. We've got one here, one here. So we know we've got two syllables of this word. We know that when there's two consonants after the vowel, we split them up, but we've got 1, 2, 3. Now I'm going to keep the S and T together because that's a blend. Remember, we typically keep our blends and digraphs together. We don't separate them. So I'm going to divide here. I've got the word in and then st, inked, instinct, instinct. Very good. All right, last one. Let's do this word. Okay, so here's a vowel, here's a vowel. So we have two syllables in this word. And here's 1, 2 consonants. We split the two consonants following the first vowel. So now, what syllable type do we have here? Yep, the first one is a closed syllable type. And this one is a closed syllable type because after this vowel, we have a digraph, okay? And these consonants are blocking or closing the door for the I. So we've got two short vowel sounds. So now we can sound this out by figuring out what each syllable sounds are. Ready? Rub, bish, rubbish. Rubbish would be like trash or garbage. That's rubbish. Okay. Phew, that was a lot. Last thing we're going to do, we're going to spell just 4 words. Okay, so if you do not have paper and pencil, go ahead and grab it. If you've got it, we're going to spell these words by breaking them up into the syllables. This is going to help you to become a really proficient speller. So the first word is topic. So topic. Now, one way you can figure out when you're spelling where the syllable break is when your jaw drops. Top, ick. So I know the first syllable is top. So go ahead and spell top, which should be like this, which is a closed syllable. Now, top, ick, ick. So now we just spell the second syllable. Topic. Okay, the next word, complex. Complex. You are learning really complex vowel rules and syllable types and rules for breaking words up into syllables. So complex. Complex. What's the first syllable? Com. Okay, so Now I know that is a closed syllable type because I hear a short vowel sound. It's kind of like comedy. So complex. So the second syllable I hear is plex. Plex. I hear a short vowel sound again. So this is a closed syllable, the second syllable. Okay, 2 more words. Reflect. Reflect. So the first syllable is re. So re, I know, is an open syllable type. So there's definitely not a consonant blocking that in. Re, kind of like be, he. So reflect. Now we just need to spell the second syllable, which is flecked. Flecked. Reflect. Is that what you ended up with? So you see how reflect, that's a pretty tricky word to spell, but when you break the word up by each individual syllable, it's going to help you. Okay, the last word I want you to spell is moment. Moment. Okay, first syllable, mo, and then second syllable, ment. Moment. So go ahead and spell mo, which is an open syllable, and then meant. I hear men, and there, moment. So meant. Very good. So these are all pretty tricky words to spell, but if you break each word up syllable by syllable and spell each individual syllable, it makes it much easier for spelling and for reading when you come to new words. All right, Lions, this was a lot of information. We will practice this every day, so you are going to become automatic with it. So don't worry if you're not yet. We're in this together, and I can't wait to see you again tomorrow for another lesson. Bye, Lions.